Assalamu alaikum friends, welcome back to the channel. Always with Younes Charfaoui. In this video, you are going to see inline classes or value classes in Kotlin. Let's get started. So let's pretend here we have a user profile class in which it contains name, email, phone number, and address. So let's pretend we do have this user profile with the following information. All right. Now there is some problems could happen. Okay. Just for example, I can put the email in the place of this phone number and nothing will happen. Well, of course, this language is statically typed language, of course, so it will guarantee that I'm not passing a boolean or a number here, so that would make sense. But even though I can make some problems by passing like the same type, but for different parameters, okay? You can tell me I can use, of course, the name argument like that, but still, sometimes we don't use them. We want some kind of compiler safety. For this reason, sometimes we use like this are called value object, and you can implement the value object like following. Let's pretend we do have another data class called email, and it will contain the value of the string like that. Or sorry, let me call it email as a string. And here I can, instead of doing email, I can put the email here. Now this won't work. As you can see, this won't work. So I need to provide an email like the following. If I'm reading the code, if I'm saying an email, it should be an email here. It doesn't make sense if I'm reading the code email with this value here. Okay, that doesn't make sense, of course, and since I'm reading this. But in the previous example, you can't notice the difference if you don't use this named argument. Okay, so that would work. And the beauty of that is that if I want to verify if an email is correct or not, let's say that the user don't put this one, I can create here functions, or for example, in the init, I can verify that I can require that the email, for example, usually we do this kind of regular expression stuff. And by this mean, I can validate the input of the email. So I don't pass just random values like that, which is good. Still, there is a problem with data classes. It's not kind of problem, but problem in performance generally, since we're just passing one field. Here we are passing just one field. Still, we are instantiating the data class over and over. Imagine doing that for the name, for the phone number, for the address, and in big application, you will do that often. So it will allocate a lot of space in the heap and so on. So it's better to use the email directly like that. There is another option that people tend to use, which is type aliases. Here you create an email like that, and you say it is string. Of course, I have to delete that. Nice. And then I can declare an email like that. So I can put directly the string of an email here, and that would work. And this is also fine. Still, I can make the issue because what I can call, I can put this instead and put it here, and that would work perfectly fine. I'm not having that compiler safety here. So the third option, which is the best option, is to use what we call value classes. Okay, so value classes are simply classes. Let me just value class, call it email like that. And here, of course, I have to call or I have to provide my value like that. I'm having an error here. It says that the value classes, and always this is especially if you are working on the JVM, if you are working on JavaScript as a target, you won't have that issue. It's problem of JVM stuff. So you need to put at JVM inline like that, and that would work. Now what I can do, I can use the same thing, which is the email previously I did, and pass my email. I'm having the compiler safety here. I can do this for all the classes. Now I declared everything. Now you can see I'm having errors here. So I can put the phone number like that, and I can put the address like that. Same thing. I'm having good thing. Now, guess what? Like, this is the main beauty. If you do go to this one, to tools and Kotlin, and check the bytecode compilation and check the bytecode, if you see here, you're going to see that the name, email, phone number, and address are mainly strings. Like, there isn't anything related to what we called earlier of an email and passwords, or email, phone number, and address as custom classes. That's the beauty. At the runtime, it will convert everything like you created into the normal values. So that's why you can't have two things here. For example, let's say in the email, you won't have val something else and put it as string. That wouldn't work mainly. Why? Because value classes can have only one parameter into the constructor. Okay. Still, you can have some functions. For example, you can do the init, and for example, you can require, let's say that the email I'm having, the length must be bigger than 5. Okay. You still can't do that. Well, I know here you should do some pattern matching for email, but I'm just demonstrating that. This will be used as, guess what, as static function if I remember well. Now, if I look at the decompiled code right now, I can see still I'm using this thing, but the main function, like the email, if you go to the email, well, still we are going to create wrapper classes, of course. And here you can see that the function is returned to be a static function. Of course, you need to verify the email length more than 5. But the main important stuff, which is for the memory, for the heap allocation, you are just allocating a simple string and using the methods as static methods in order to do your behaviors here. You can declare many functions such as domain functions specific to validation or any other domain function here, and that would work perfectly fine. That's the beauty of value classes or inline classes. I think they call it also value classes, but here we are using it as value class. Okay, that's the main important stuff. Just remember that you have this option in Kotlin, so you can declare it as data classes if the runtime overhead and the allocation, the heap allocation, that doesn't provide an issue for you, but still you can have this option and you can work with it. That's mainly it for this video. Thanks a lot for watching this video to the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as always, and see you in the next videos. Salam alaikum.